At the very heart of Catholic social teaching is the dignity of each and every human person. In Genesis chapter 1, we find a God who creates human beings from his own goodness, marking them with the imprint of his own image. God created mankind in his image, in the image of God. He created them, male and female, he created them. We read in the scriptures. In Genesis chapter 2, we see a God who breathed his very spirit into the dust, forming the human person in his hands. Humanity is not an afterthought in the mind of God, but something important and cared for. This is where our dignity comes from the fact that we were created by God in his image and likeness, to be loved by God and to love God in return. Psalm 139 reminds us that each person is personally created by God to share in relationship with him, with our fellow human beings, and all of creation. Our intrinsic worth as human beings is not dependent on what we have or what we do. It comes from who we are as persons loved by God. In an even greater statement of God's love for us, he invites us to share in this love for eternity by giving us his Son. God loves us so much that he took on human flesh as the person of Jesus to live among us and die for us. God gave us an even greater dignity by becoming one of us. Who we are as humans is now determined by having Jesus as our brother. In his life on earth, Jesus personally demonstrated what it means to respect the dignity of all people, even those who might be harder to love. In John chapter 4, Jesus shows love for a Samaritan woman, one who had been judged unworthy by society, and offers her the living water that will satisfy her forever, the love of God. As St. Paul reminds us, we are all called to be perfectly conformed to the image of the Son, to be brought to him more fully. We must not forget that this invitation extends to all human beings. Pope Francis especially calls us to a culture of encounter, to see the face of Christ in every person we meet. As fellow children of God, we must always seek to treat others as persons willed by God, loving them as God loves us.